It's the late 2000s. You are running home from school to quickly switch on the TV and watch the latest Naruto episode. Maybe you are one of those people who started watching anime during the time of lockdown and decided to catch up on Bleach with all the 1000-year Blood War hype. Perhaps you've watched the One Piece live action and couldn't wait for the next season, so you ended up binging 1000 episodes of the anime. Whatever the reason might have been, all of us are fans of the big three. And I can understand reading the title and instantly wanting to dislike and leave a polite comment on this video. But for this one time, I ask you all to hear me out. Now, to the main point, how did the most successful and influential anime and manga group ever almost did not exist? To answer this, we first need to understand what it truly means to be a big three anime. And secondly, let's talk about the anime that almost destroyed this trio. The big three isn't some subjective title that is different for everyone. It's not someone's top 3 favorite anime. On the other hand, because of the immense success and significant influence of these 3 mangas that surpassed all other series at the time, Shonen Jump, the comic publication responsible for publishing these 3 mangas, created the term Big 3 to describe the 3 biggest anime in the golden age of shonen in the mid-2000s. Hence, the big 3 will always be One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. But what if I told you that there was one manga that almost single-handedly changed this, turning the big 3 into the big 4? I am of course talking about Hunter x Hunter. Now, I'm not trying to say that it is better than any of the series. That's not my point. Nor am I trying to say that it deserves to be part of the big 3 right now in its current condition. My point is that if some things were different back in the early 2000s, Hunter x Hunter could have been on the same level as the Golden Trio. To elaborate on this claim, let me first state the conditions to be a big 3 anime. For an anime to be in the Golden Trio, it should be from the late 90s to the early 2000s. Then it also needs to have great success and influence. And at last, it must be a long-running weekly anime and manga series spanning decades. So how well does Hunter x Hunter perform on these 3 conditions? If you didn't already know, the 2011 anime is actually a remake. The original anime started in 1999, and the manga began in 1998, which means it perfectly fits in the timeline of the Big 3 era. The first condition is undoubtedly fulfilled. Now for the second condition, I don't think anyone doubts the great success and influence it has. So without a doubt, this condition is fulfilled. Lastly, for the third condition, is it a long-running weekly anime and manga series spanning decades? Absolutely freaking not. It is called Hiatus x Hiatus for a reason. I would like to show a particular graph to emphasize my point. In this chart, each blue square represents a week that saw the release of a Hunter x Hunter chapter, and every single red square represents the weeks that did not receive a chapter. Hiatus, break, interval, whatever you may call it, is the reason for the manga's current state. When the other mangas averaged about 40 chapters a year, it was barely managing to release 15 chapters a year. It was undoubtedly a manga at the level of the big 3 at the start. It also had a successful old-gen anime in the 90s, but due to constant and prolonged breaks, it never reached its full potential. Now a question might arise in your mind. Why has it been on so many breaks? It's not like the author is lazy or anything. As you can see, Togashi-sensei was extremely consistent in his previous work on Yu Yu Hakusho. So what happened? Due to the taxing work conditions in Japan, Togashi had severe back issues due to the stress brought on by drawing manga, to the point he had issues even with going to the toilet. This resulted in Hunter x Hunter having a horrible release schedule for the manga. This was a tragic fate, both for the creator and the fans. Just for fun, and to cope a little, I'd like to imagine a hypothetical world where Togashi didn't suffer from health issues and our favorite manga was released consistently. For this thought experiment, I would not be changing its merit in the slightest. The only thing I would change is its release schedule. So far in 26 years, it has released exactly 400 chapters. Let's assume it released 40 chapters a year, just like the rest of the big 3 from the start. We can deduce that it would run from 1998 to 2008 in 10 years. As the big 3 was a term coined in the mid-2000s, we can assume that this automatically guarantees Hunter x Hunter's entry in the big 3 conversation. In this world, the original anime does not stop and continues its run using filler to let the manga catch up just like any other show at the time. If it had similar levels of episode conversion to Bleach and Naruto, it would get anywhere from 350 to 400 anime episodes. Considering Bleach has 366 anime episodes with about 45% filler. Thus, this hypothetical Hunter x Hunter would have been longer than Bleach in the mid-2000s, reg. Now with this little adjustment, The third condition is fulfilled. So in this hypothetical world, Hunter x Hunter would either turn the big three into the big four, or maybe even replace Bleach. But at the end of the day, we could never really know what could have actually happened. All we can do is speculate. But what about the current situation? We don't have to speculate there. From the author's recent tweets, there is a new ray of hope coming for the show. We might regularly get manga chapters again. Unfortunately for the anime, there is no hope anytime soon. So until then, just read your favorite manga on our Bloopworm app to enjoy manga the way it was meant to be. You don't have to worry about the weird formatting of manga, as Bloopworm has an inbuilt AI tool that helps you navigate the story panel to panel. In the end, what do you guys think about this? Is it possible for Hunter x Hunter to be a part of the big three? Or more importantly, should it even be a part of that group? Is there another anime that deserves this position more? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Also, check out this video about Nen and other shows' power systems.